According to Sahara reporters, the Southwestern hunters that form JTF with the DSS police military has exposed the corruption in the security, that the security are exchanging money or cash, conniving or colluding with the terrorists in the southwestern region.
Let me tell you that in every 12 there must be Judas. So it will not be surprised or surprising if military personnel have been accused of perhaps having collaborating with criminals to sabotage the fight against insecurity. But that does not mean that the whole security architecture is bad. But politically speaking, I think as a government, as a people, we need to rejig the security architecture because the current security arrangement is not working. That is the truth. And if you look at the insecurity we have in Nigeria, I'm going to tell you that Fulani military is at the center of it. It is no longer a rumor that the Fulani military of Nigerian extraction is the fourth most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. I just saw a video where the former governor of Kaduna State, talking about Nasir El-Rufai, made it very clear that the best way to handle bandits is to kill them. He said, don't negotiate with them. He said, send them to God, who will ultimately judge them. And I think that position is valid because this approach of Nigerian government in reintegrating repentant bandits into the society, for me, is exposing Nigerians to danger. And the way, as we have it today, Nigerian government, talking about federal government, should devolve some power to the state when it comes to security. Because the governors cannot be going by the name of the governor and the chief security officer of their respective states where they do not parade any security power. Going forward, they should parade some level of security power. Because if you look at the command and control of our security architecture, it comes from Abuja. The president goes by the name of the president and the commander of the armed forces. The box rests with him. The IG of police, the director of DSS, all the service chiefs for that matter report to the office of the National Security Advisor. And the National Security Advisor report directly to Mr. President. So for me, the best way to address this issue of insecurity is to reduce the security architecture. Good a thing like in the southwestern part of the country, where they have Amateku. Amateku should build capacity. And the best way to build that capacity is to bear arm to the level where they can combat this insecurity. And as we have it, we understand that the Office of the National Security Advisor has the power to give out end user certificate that empowers people to bear arms like AK-47, AK-49, and they could not achieve under Muhammadu Buhari. We understand that Muhammadu Buhari is a Fulani man. When Akeredolu was alive, may he so rest in peace, he was always at loggerhead with Buhari because according to him, Amateku was not allowed to bear arms, and civilian JTF in the north were bearing arms. So what I'm saying in essence is, now that Tinubu is there, we are expecting the government or federal government to do things differently. Let us build capacity and allow Amateku to bear arms, and let other states or the federation toe that line to come up with security arrangement at that level to deal with this issue of insecurity. Because we understand that crime is local. So if you must address it, you must address it from the point of every locality. Sending a military personnel, a police personnel, DSS personnel from Kano to Lagos, Lagos to Abuja, Delta to Enugu, Enugu to Kano is not working. I'm not saying that military personnel, security personnel should not go from state to state, but you must have people who are from the area, who know the terrain, who can go into the nook and cranny of the society to gather intelligence that is actionable to deal with these threats.
Now, in the same perspective, what is your reaction over? It seems Edo State is becoming a new hub for hunters. That four Fulani terrorists were nabbed in Edo State, all the way from Kano to Edo State. What exactly is happening? Is there any law that permits people to move or hunt from across interstates without even registering their presence or to the particular local government or state where they want to hunt?
To start with, when it comes to issue of bearing arm and license to bear arm, I understand that if you are licensed to hunt in a state to bear arm, you do not, that license do not permit you to move from state to state. So by implication, if you are licensed to bear arm in Kano State and you intend to go and hunt in Edo State, you are supposed to approach the authorities in Edo State to relicense those arms to have the authority to bear arms in that state. And again, I want to see what the government will do next. You understand that after the arrest of those new arm-bearing northerners, who the police have come out now to say they are not Fulani herdsmen, that they are hunters. I think the authorities should come out to tell us what they are doing with them. Because if somebody possesses arms illegally, unlawfully, that person should have been prosecuted on that basis. So it is not clear what the authorities want to do, because after telling us that these are not Fulani herdsmen, you should equally come out and tell us whether they were licensed to bear arms in Edo State. Because the unfortunate incident that happened where about 16 persons were lynched and burned to death in Edo State, we are still dealing with it. And I think to avoid a repeat of that and the consequence of that action is the reason these people perhaps handed the suspect to the police. But the police on their own part should do the needful, should do the right thing, should ensure that justice is served to avert a possible situation where people will take laws into their hands.
Are we seeing justice being served with the incessant attacks on Plateau indigents? Just as we are just mourning the 52 that was lynched, murdered in such gruesome manner, we are seeing a repeat of that. So, what are the people doing, and what is Tinubu's administration doing? Having no regard for human sanctity, how do we get to this point?
I must tell you that we are not yet seeing justice. If you are looking at how we get to this point, I think it's negligence on the part of those who are saddled with responsibility of managing the security system. Because the governor of Plateau State, talking about Mufuang, have come out clearly to say that the attack on Bokos and Basa local government areas of the state are purely genocide in nature. This is purely genocidal, Fulani genocidal invasion of communities. A plan, a strategy to wipe up a race and take over their communities. As we speak, it's on record that about 250 communities have been sacked by the renewed activities of bandits, terrorists, or whatever name you choose to call them. And we understand that about 600 persons has been displaced currently as we speak, staying in different IDP camps across different states in the north. But the painful aspect of this is that the minority areas of Christians in the north are the receiving end of what we are seeing. No wonder we saw Reverend Alfred, who went to American Congress recently to tell the world that look at what minority Christians are facing in the north. And after making his presentation before American Congress that admonished Trump to sanction Nigerian government on that basis. So I think we need more of this to put Nigerian government on their toe. If all the necessary pressure that is coming from pressure group in Nigeria is not enough to put them on their toe to do the right thing, maybe they should be receiving that level of embarrassment from the international community. Because the other time we saw Kemi Badenoch, who spoke from UK, talking about the leader of Conservative Party in UK. That was an embarrassment to Nigerian government, because immediately she spoke, the IG of police gave an order, directive, that the police personnel in the field should going forward stop searching the phone of Nigerians, particularly the youths. So if until somebody go to the international arena to speak and bring embarrassment to them, that is when they will be ready to act. Maybe we need more of that.
You have been seeing it that Nigeria security architect is in the hand of some people, some powerful people in this country, in the hand of a particular powerful ethnic in this country, to the extent that if you are not on their, if your name is not on their good side, you may not be promoted. It's like you have to be answering to something before you will get promoted, or for you get favor in that angle. So it's not surprising me when I'm hearing this one. But the thing I just want to celebrate is the awakening of the hunters in the southwest. This is what we have been calling for a very, very long time. That the hunters, they should join hands with Amotekons, with they should form JTF, so that we'll be able to checkmate, I mean, the killing in the southwest. Everybody see what is happening in Benue and Plateau State. Before they turn our place into Benue and Plateau State, we need to wake up and checkmate their essence. And since government has failed, then it's now for us to wake up and provide security. Because even in Nigeria, it is obvious that every household They have formed government on their own. When government fail to provide us electricity, we go and buy gen. We look for another means of generating power by ourselves. It was gen that was raining before. Now it is solar. It is solar system. When government fails to provide water for us, we seek borehole. When in some community, when government refuse to do their road, they gather together and do their road by themselves. So so far we are able to provide all those things by ourselves. Why can't we provide security ourselves? There are some community, it's not government that started their school. They themselves gather together and they build what they call community grammar school. So later the government will now come and take it over from them. So it has always been like that. Since we have a failed government, everybody look for means to provide for all what he needs. So at this junction, that community have seen that government has failed. Even instead of them to protecting us, they are the one that will be even exposing us into insecurity. Like this accusation now, that they say that some of these DSS they are working with terrorists. It's not. We cannot say it's not possible. It's fucking possible. So far, Boko Haram can infiltrate Nigeria army where they have more. What what is DSS that they cannot infiltrate? So it's not far from the truth that we may have some bad egg in DSS that is working with Nigeria enemy. So only what that one is telling you is that we have much more, I mean, a battle to fight, to contend with. So, and the more the battle, the stronger the battle, the harder our preparation should be. So it's telling us that we must prepare to battle the people of authority.
Thank you so much.